Hello again. In lesson 23 we are introducing the letter R. And here you can see a tame rat and they make lovely pets. But then we have a wild rat. So let's have a think about how we are going to write these letters. We start with a lead-in stroke. And this lead-in stroke goes up as high as the letters M and N. And hopefully your lead-in strokes don't look quite as wobbly as these. And we go lead in and down. And I think that that's an action we're used to. Lead in and down. Now we add by going back up almost to the top, and we add a curl over, but this isn't finished yet. Let's practice this bit first. Lead in, down. Back up again and a curl over. It's quite a shallow curl that we can see. And we keep it shallow because we then had a wee dip. And that dip is important for when it comes to joining to other letters. Let's make that a little bit less wide, and you can see a couple here that I wrote in a different pen. Curl over and a dip. Lead in, down, back up, curl over and a dip, and again. And this is very similar to the shape that we would use if we were printing. Down, back up almost to the top and add a curl over. And when we're printing, we don't need that dip. And you'll see why as we continue. And then we have a capital, which is twice as tall. Straight line, curl tummy out, and then we slope down. Straight line, and you can go back up again if you'd like to. Curl tummy out, and a slope down. And you can see here that the tummy is different sizes. You have a go and see which shape you prefer for your writing. Let's have a go on our handwriting paper. Lead in, down, back up, curl over and add a dip. And for the capitals, we can start at the top, down to the blue writing line, back up, curl tummy out and slope down. And there we have our shapes. And you can see that wee dip at the end. And when we come to joining them to letters, then it will make more sense. Capital letters that are the same whether we're printing or using cursive. There. And then we have printed letter R's, where we don't need to worry about the dip. Down, back up, curl over a wee bit. So you can practice and decide which letter shape you would like to use. But when it comes to joining the letter R, that's when we have to stop and think a little bit. So here's our letter R, and you can see that we need to dip and then do another shallow curl over to start the letter A. And that takes a little bit of practicing. So the letter A doesn't come from the bottom because the R is another top joiner. We go across, we dip, and then across to do the top of the A before coming round. Let's try that again with the letter O. R into O does exactly the same, across the top and then back. And it is a top joiner as well, so our exit stroke for the O is also at the top. Lead in, down, back up, dip down a wee bit, and that's where we have the top of the letter E. Goes across, dips right down for the letter E. Now we will see another reason why that dip is important. Lead in, dip, and it goes from that dip, you go up a wee way to make the letter I. And it's important because if we didn't do it, we would have what looks like the letter N with a dot above it. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why we need to be careful when we are joining that R to the letter I. And this is a really good place to stop to think about the sound we listen for to know to write the letter R. You might hear R, and you also might hear R. Both of them need the letter R. And when R is followed by these single vowel letters, we use the sounds that we know already. You might find as we explore more words, after we've looked at words that start like this, that the sounds change, not the sound that we say when we see the letter R, but the sound of the vowel in front of it. For now, we will be concentrating on words where the vowel sounds are the same as the ones we've learned. We do, though, need to think about going into the letter R from a vowel. A, R, we would join in the same way, and ER and IR. They all start from that bottom lead-in stroke. But OR is another top joiner. So we go across and down. Across, down, back up. And then we write the rest of the letter R. And this is another lesson where we have a lot of consonant blends. Brush, brr. Brr is B R. Crane. Cr is C, R. And again, C, R. And then we have a dragon. Dr. Dr is D, R. And let's see how many more. First of all, we have a frog. Fr. Fr is F, R. Graph. Graph, we can hear gr as the consonant blend at the beginning. Gr is G, R. And then we have a printer. So we will need pr, P, R. And I'm going to leave a gap. Now that gap is there because we're now going to take a look at some consonant blends that need 3 letters. So that gap is our reminder. First of all, we have a screw. Sk, r. S is S. The k will be C. And r is R. Screw. Let's write that a couple more times. Screw, S-C-R. S-C-R. Screw. Followed by a spring. Spur. S-P-R. S is S. P is P. R is R. Let's try this triple blend a couple more times. Spr, S, P, R. Spr is S, P, R. 2 more to think about. The strap that's holding that suitcase together. Stir. Stir is S, T, R. And we will try this one a couple more times as well. Stir, S, T, R. Stir is S, T, R. And the last one, squeezed into that little picture, we have 3 little pigs. So we need thr. So though we have 3 letters when we write it, there are 2 sounds. When our teeth are on our tongue and r. So thr, T, H for the th, and then an R for the sound we can hear. Thr. Thr is T-H-R. And again, T-H-R. A lot of consonant blends to think about, but we can hear all of the sounds that let us know which letter to write. And to say goodbye, a bigger picture of those 3 little pigs so that you can see them all. Thank you for joining me.